Nice. These fish haven't moved up, and they are right on the edge of this drop off. If you can, very nice. If you're having problems with catching fish this winter, I want to explain to you one of the basic things when it comes to saltwater fishing in the wintertime, and that's going to be starting deep in the morning and then moving your way shallow in the afternoon as that water warms up. Now, if you're new to inshore fishing, or if you're new to fishing in general, you might not have heard of this concept before. And if you've been around for a little while and you really don't understand what this concept is, that's what I want to do in this video, is I want to explain that. I'm going to show you what it looks like on a couple of different maps. One is going to be on shallow flats. Another one's going to be fishing deeper creeks. And then at the end, I'm going to give you an example of on the water, what it looks like when everything is put together correctly. So let's talk about the concept of fishing deeper in the morning and then moving up shallower in the afternoon, and the reason why we do that. So these fish are looking to be comfortable, and where that comfortable water is going to be dependent on the time of the day and where that water temperature is warming up at. In the evenings, what happens is as that sun goes down, the shallower water is more affected by that, and it's going to cool down quicker. The fish want warmer water. The water that's a little bit deeper is going to be more consistent when it comes to water temperature. So that's why they move down there. It's going to be more consistent. And then again, as the day goes on, that sun comes up and it starts warming up the shallows. That's where they move up to feed. Now, where a lot of confusion happens is what is considered deep and shallow. Well, that really depends on your topographical area. If you're fishing a large expanse of grass flats that's only 2 feet deep, 3 to 4 feet may be deep, but if you're fishing in a river or creek or marsh system that has 10 or 20 foot holes in it, then that's deeper water. So we need to think about the areas that we're fishing at, and then we also need to make sure and combine that there's areas where it's deeper and shallower that they can move up to feed. Now I want to move to the maps real quick, and I'm going to show you examples of those two. The first one's going to be a grass flat, and the next one is going to be a river system. So let's go right to the grass flat. So what we have here is we have a large grass flat system that's got some islands in there, but if you notice, we've got some deeper water that is this darker color right here. And right in this choke point between these two islands, you're going to see an area that is pretty much a picture perfect type of place to be looking on fishing when it comes to wintertime. So at nighttime, these fish are going to drop down into this deeper water right in here whenever the water is at its coolest. And if you look right here, we actually have some little points and pockets that go in and out. These are great ambush points, even at nighttime, if these fish are feeding down in here. And then what they can do is they can move up into these shallow flats. We've got shallow flats up here. We've got a cove up here. This is a prime example of the type of places that we need to be fishing at in the wintertime. So in the morning time, we're going to be fishing down here. And then in the afternoon, whenever that sun's heating up that water, then we're going to move up shallow. Now let's take a look at an area that you can't see in the water, and that is going to be this deep river system. And if you see right here, you really can't tell much, but if we go over to our layers, we click on the 1 foot contour, then it starts telling us a lot more information. Let's go ahead and close this out there. And this is the type of place that we're looking for. If you notice, we have a 21 foot hole right here, and then it moves up shallower as we get closer to shore. If you're unfamiliar with the 1 foot contour, I just want to let you know how this works. Each one of these lines represents a different depth in the water right here. The closer these lines are together, the steeper that drop off is going to be, and the more spread out these lines are, the shallower, the more gradual that drop off is going to be. But this is the type of areas that we need to look for in the wintertime. So in the morning time, or after a cold front comes through and that temperature drops, we've got some deep water here that the fish can hang out in, and that way they can be comfortable whenever that cold weather moves in. But as the sun comes up, you get on a warming trend, they're going to start moving a little bit shallow. And what we need to look for is we need to look for an area like this right in here, where we've got a shallow shelf right here before it drops into deep water. So we've got 2.5, 3, 4 feet of water that's going to be nice and shallow. This is going to warm up quicker on a sunny day, on a sunny afternoon, than an area, say, over here where we've got 10.5 foot of water that's right close to the shoreline. So we need an area that's got deeper water, but also has a shallower shelf right here. And this is the type of place that we need to look for in the wintertime in these creek systems, something that these fish can move up to feed. Now, with everything, there are variances in strategies, and there are going to be some times that you don't want to move up shallow. And the number one thing is if that sun doesn't come out. If the sun doesn't come out, then that water is not going to warm up and these fish are going to stay deep. We need that sun to come out to warm up the shallows for those fish to move up there. So if it's on a cloudy, overcast, windy day, then you want to start deep and you're going to probably stay deep all day long. These fish just aren't going to move up. On a recent trip, I ran across this same exact scenario where it was a little bit cloudy, it was a little bit early, and the fish have not pulled up shallow to feed yet. They were still right on the edge of the drop off. I was able to pick up on that and I got some fish in the boat. Check out the video. Nice. He was right there. There's two of them together. I thought I spooked those things for sure. I'm going to go ahead and kill my trolling motor here. That was awesome. The first one spooked off and this one picked up and grabbed it, and he is not happy for sure. So these fish are exactly where I thought they would be. Right now it's still a little bit early. I mean, it's probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock. The sun hasn't come fully out yet. These fish haven't moved up and they are right on the edge of this drop off. If you can see, there's a weed line right there, and about a few feet in front of that weed line there's a drop off, and that's where these guys were hanging out. I seen a couple of them there. Very nice. So that's going to be the video. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something from it. If you've got any questions or comments, go ahead and put those down below and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. And as always, I really do appreciate you watching. Have a great one.